The Young and the Restless spoilers Tuesday full update December 24, 2024 secrets, betrayals, and dangerous games. The chaos surrounding Sharon, Michael, and Lauren. The air was thick with tension as Michael and Lauren's argument escalated to a fever pitch. Voices echoed through the Newman Ranch, cutting through the already fractured calm of the family. The revelation of Sharon's hypnosis secret was the spark that ignited the fire, a secret that Lauren, in her quest for truth, had let slip to Phyllis. Now, the fallout threatened to consume them all. Michael versus Lauren, a marriage on the brink. You had no right. Michael roared, his fists clenched as he paced the room. That wasn't your secret to share, Lauren. Sharon trusted us to keep this quiet. Lauren, equally defiant, shot back, and why should Phyllis be left in the dark? She has every right to know what's going on. Sharon's not the only one involved in this mess. Michael shook his head, his frustration palpable. Phyllis doesn't want the truth, she wants chaos. You know what she's like. And now look at what's happened. She barged in and nearly killed Sharon. Is that what you wanted? Lauren hesitated, guilt flickering across her face. She hadn't anticipated the lengths Phyllis would go to, but part of her still believed she had done the right thing. Michael, this family thrives on secrets and lies. I'm sick of it. If we're ever going to move forward, the truth has to come out. But Michael wasn't convinced. Not like this, he said, his voice lower but no less intense. Not if it means putting Sharon's life at risk. Phyllis's reckless interruption. Michael's worst fears had already come true. Phyllis, fueled by her own brand of righteousness and curiosity, had stormed into the session where Sharon was under hypnosis. Ignoring the warnings of the professionals present, she had shaken Sharon awake, disrupting the delicate state of her mind. The consequences were immediate and dire. Sharon's body, convulsed as the shock of being pulled from her hypnotic state too abruptly sent her into a temporary coma. Doctors warned that such an interruption could lead to permanent damage, possibly leaving Sharon in a vegetative state. But Phyllis was unapologetic. I had to know what she was hiding, she exclaimed when confronted by Michael and Lauren. If Sharon's going to ruin lives with her lies, I'm not going to sit back and let it happen. Michael's fury boiled over. Do you even hear yourself, Phyllis? You put her life in danger for what? To feed your ego? To prove you're right? But Phyllis stood her ground, convinced she had done the right thing, even if no one else agreed. Ian Ward and Jordan, the enigmatic kiss. Meanwhile, another layer of intrigue unfolded, one that no one in Genoa City could have predicted. Jordan, ever the schemer, had been harboring a peculiar fascination with Ian Ward. Known for his manipulative charisma and dark machinations, Ian had always operated in the shadows, seemingly immune to the trappings of personal relationships. That's why the kiss, whether real or imagined, shook Jordan to his core. A figment of imagination or a dangerous reality? Ian Ward's demeanor had never suggested he harbored romantic or physical interest in anyone. Cold, calculating, and focused on his sinister goals, Ian wasn't the kind of man to indulge in such intimate moments. Yet, the kiss lingered in Jordan's mind as though it had truly happened. Was it a fantasy? A product of Jordan's obsession with power and the enigmatic figure Ian represented? Or had Ian, in a moment of vulnerability, revealed a side of himself that no one had ever seen before? For Jordan, the kiss symbolized something far greater than physical attraction. It was a moment of validation, a glimpse into Ian's carefully guarded psyche. But for Ian, if it were real, it was nothing more than another manipulation, a tool to keep Jordan firmly under his control. The fallout, the implications of the kiss, whether real or imagined, could have far-reaching consequences. If Ian were to discover Jordan's perception of the event, he could exploit it to tighten his grip on Jordan, using his influence to further his mysterious agenda. And Jordan, torn between his growing fascination with Ian and the reality of their precarious alliance, would find himself caught in a dangerous dance of power and vulnerability. What lies ahead? Back at the Newman Ranch, Sharon's condition remained critical, her family rallying around her as doctors worked tirelessly to reverse the damage caused by Phyllis's recklessness. Michael and Lauren's marriage teetered on the edge, the cracks in their relationship threatening to widen into an irreparable chasm. As for Phyllis, her actions had made her more enemies than ever before. But in her mind, the end justified the means. She believed the truth about Sharon's hypnosis, and whatever it revealed was worth any price. And in the shadows, Ian Ward and Jordan continued their enigmatic game, their connection growing more complex with each passing moment. Whether the kiss was real or a product of Jordan's imagination, its impact was undeniable. It was a spark that could either ignite something powerful or destroy them both. The Newman alliance, Victor's strategic play with Cole. Victor Newman, ever the master strategist, had a plan, one that would bolster his power and secure his family's legacy. His handshake with Cole was more than just a gesture of welcome, it was a calculated move to align Cole with the Newman empire. Publicly, Victor framed it as an endorsement of Cole and Victoria's potential marriage. But privately, it was clear, this was about loyalty, alliances, and Victor's unrelenting need to dominate. Cole, a pawn or a partner? Cole found himself swept into the whirlwind that was Victor Newman's world. The handshake, though seemingly straightforward, came with an unspoken contract. Loyalty to the Newman family and its patriarch. Victor's announcement that Cole and Victoria could marry was met with polite applause and curious murmurs. To the Newman family's social circle, it was a sign that Victor trusted Cole enough to bring him into the fold. But for Cole, the situation was far more complex. His feelings for Victoria had grown distant, and he sensed her hesitance. Their connection felt strained, more transactional than romantic. Victoria's reluctance. Victoria, meanwhile, was deeply conflicted. She sat through the dinner party with a forced smile, her heart heavy with disinterest. Marriage was the last thing on her mind. She had loved before, deeply and painfully, and she no longer had the energy or desire to engage in another union, especially one orchestrated by her father for the sake of power. In private, Victoria confided in her mother, Nikki. "I can't do this, Mom," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't love Cole, and I don't think I ever will. I'm tired of being a pawn in Dad's games." Nikki, ever the supportive mother, placed a comforting hand on her daughter's shoulder. "You have to stand your ground, Victoria. Your father means well, but his methods aren't always gentle. If you don't want this, you need to make it clear." But Victoria knew it wasn't that simple. Victor's plans were rarely up for negotiation. Victor's true intentions. Victor's motives for endorsing Cole were clear to those who truly knew him. The Newman patriarch was embroiled in yet another battle with his lifelong rival, Jack Abbott. The feud between the Newman and Abbott families had reached a boiling point, and Victor needed every ally he could muster to outmaneuver Jack and his schemes. Cole, with his intellect and ambition, was a valuable asset. By bringing him into the family, Victor hoped to strengthen his position and solidify Cole's loyalty. But there was more to the plan. Victor's approval of the marriage wasn't just about Cole. It was a means to an end. Michael Baldwin, the missing link. Victor's ultimate goal extended beyond Cole's allegiance. He needed Michael Baldwin back in his corner. Since Michael's departure, Victor's grip on certain legal and business matters had weakened significantly. Michael's cunning mind and sharp legal expertise had been indispensable, and Victor was determined to reclaim that advantage. Victor pulled Cole aside after the dinner. "I have a task for you, Cole," he said, his tone firm and deliberate. "Michael Baldwin is a man of principle, but he's also a man of opportunity. I need you to convince him to return to my side. If anyone can persuade him, it's you." Cole hesitated, unsure of how to respond. He admired Victor's power and vision but didn't relish the idea of being used as a tool in the Newman patriarch's schemes. Still, he nodded. "I'll see what I can do," he replied, knowing he had little choice. The Abbott rivalry. Meanwhile, the Abbott family wasn't blind to Victor's moves. Jack, always one step ahead, had caught wind of Victor's plans to strengthen his alliances. "He's pulling Cole into his web," Jack said to Ashley over a glass of bourbon. "And I'm willing to bet it has nothing to do with Victoria. This is about us, about Newman versus Abbott." Ashley sighed, her expression weary. And what are we going to do about it, Jack? We can't let Victor consolidate more power. We won't, Jack said with a smirk. We just have to find the right weak link. The road ahead. As the dust settled from Victor and Cole's handshake, the Newman family found itself at a crossroads. Victoria grappled with her father's expectations, unsure of how to assert her independence without alienating her family. Cole, caught between ambition and principle, faced the daunting task of navigating Victor's world while staying true to himself. And in the background, Michael Baldwin's name loomed large, a reminder of the power Victor had lost and desperately wanted to regain. Whether Cole could bring Michael back into the fold remained to be seen, but one thing was certain: in Victor Newman's world, nothing was ever as simple as it seemed. The stage was set for another chapter in the Newman-Abbott saga, one filled with intrigue, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of power. And as always, the question lingered: who would come out on top?